What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. I cover political news, and that's what we're doing today, folks. I've got another corporate press manipulation coming in, y'all. They love to take situations, they'll take these clips and videos and stuff people say, and they'll manipulate it. They'll turn it around and flip it on you and make you believe something that's just not really true, or it's like, it's kind of true, it's half true, blah, 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 whatever. But they'll manipulate you constantly, and that's what they do. Check this out. We got some stuff to get into, y'all. Let's see what we're talking about. Video shows J.D. Vance saying Trump won the 2020 election. Now, spoiler alert, he didn't say that whatsoever. All J.D. Vance said was, yep, trying to get somebody away from him that was bothering him. It was, you know, one of those people, the journalists or whatever, they'll go and try to interrupt what somebody's doing, asking them questions, and, you know, a lot of these people, they'll just, whatever, blah, 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 they won't answer, they won't say no, they'll try to ignore them. That's what was going on. And no, J.D. Vance did not say that Trump won. Let's get into it right quick, see what the hell's going on, because once again, they manipulating everybody, folks. I just love these, by the way. These are my favorite things to cover. J.D. Vance claimed Donald Trump won the 2020 election in an unearthed clip from 2022. The video posted to X on Thursday comes days after Vance refused to outright admit that Trump lost the race against Joe Biden during the CBS News vice presidential debate. Now, going back, once again, you'll see in the clip that saying that J.D. Vance claimed this is just an outright lie. That's just totally a lie. We'll show you the clip. Let's go ahead and run that right quick.
Who won the 2020 election? Could you just answer, did Donald Trump win, yes or no?
Yes.
He did win?
Yep.
So will you concede? Will you concede? If your opponent gets more votes, will you concede?
I really feel bad for you, man.
I just want to know, if your opponent gets more votes, will you concede?
Now, so he's just trying to get this dude away from him. He's like, sure, buddy, whatever. Yeah, if you want to think that, go ahead and think that. He just says, yep, get away from me. I feel sorry for you. Right? So, no, J.D. Vance didn't claim anything, by the way. And to say that J.D. Vance refused to outright admit, no, that's not what J.D. Vance did, as a matter of fact.
Margaret? Senator Vance, did you want to respond to that?
Yeah, well, look, Tim, first of all, it's really rich for Democratic leaders to say that Donald Trump is a unique threat to democracy when he peacefully gave over power on January the 20th, as we have done for 250 years in this country. We are going to shake hands after this debate and after this election. And of course, I hope that we win, and I think we're going to win. But if Tim Walz is the next vice president, he'll have my prayers, he'll have my best wishes, and he'll have my help whenever he wants it. But we have to remember that for years in this country, Democrats protested the results of elections. Hillary Clinton in 2016 said that Donald Trump had the election stolen by Vladimir Putin because the Russians bought like $500,000 worth of Facebook ads. This has been going on for a long time. And if we want to say that we need to respect the results of the election, I'm on board. But if we want to say, as Tim Walz is saying, that this is just a problem that Republicans have had, I don't buy that.
Yes. J.D. Vance dodged the question. It's not an outright refusal to admit something. That's just a question dodge. But you love how they manipulate people. They manipulate you saying that he outright refused to admit it. That's just inaccurate as hell. It's misleading as hell. But hey, that's what the corporate press does. That's what they got to do, because they got to drum up this headline that'll get a bunch of clicks. They get all these lefties coming in here and saying, oh, J.D. Vance refused to blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this clip, I'm sure they're going to be covering, and I'm sure you'll hear something about this. But, you know, let's keep going with this and see what else they got to say. Who won the 2020 election? Could you just answer? Did Donald Trump win? Political comedian and interviewer Jason Selvig asks Vance in the never-before-seen exchange. Yes, the Ohio statesman replied, confirming his statement when asked again. Trump's running mate did not say if he would concede the 2024 election should Democrats receive more electoral votes. During his debate against Walz, however, the Ohio senator claimed he would offer his help and best wishes to his political opponent if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz win in November. Hey, you know what? That sounds like he's conceding, doesn't it? If he's going to offer help for transition or whatever, whatever kind of help, and wish them the best, that would be admitting defeat, wouldn't it? Yeah. You're not going to have somebody that hasn't conceded, that still thinks they won the election, say, best wishes, good luck with your new job. Like, no, come on, y'all. Like, why do you try to manipulate people? Why not just tell the truth? Oh, wait, because it wouldn't get as many clicks. You got to watch out for this, folks. These people are underhanded, just dirty scumbags, if you ask me. The Vance campaign did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Daily Beast. The shocking Vance clip comes on the heels of a released bombshell filing in Jack Smith's election subversion case against Trump that includes communications about the former president peddling voter fraud lies knowingly and other key details of alleged behind-the-scenes efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. That is funny. Funny you say that, because that's just interesting as hell, because I covered that video, and I only covered that because they said there's all this evidence. Jack Smith lays out his evidence for the election subversion case, and lo and behold, what did they choose to list as the evidence? Yeah, Donald Trump had conversations with Mike Pence. That's what it was. They talked about the election over lunch one time and then talked about it again at a later date. That was the bombshell evidence? Like, really? Are you freaking kidding me? I wanted some juice. I wanted to see that Trump was over here talking about, yes, you need to not certify these electors because I'm sending in my own fake electors, which is not how anything works. But I wanted to see some actual evidence. I wanted to see something. Conversations with his vice president? Yeah, I don't think so. I think you guys are insane. Because, yeah, Trump can't put together electors. I'm sorry. That's not how campaigns work. Those electors are put together by the states because they are pulled from state citizens of the state. Right? And they have to be certified by the governor, sent into Congress to be certified. The governor has to send off the electors, which has nothing to do with Trump. Plus, in this particular case, they would have to be actually certified by a judge because Trump had all these court cases over voter fraud that they wouldn't even look at the freaking evidence. So none of this makes any sense. This fake elector scheme is garbage, bogus BS that doesn't pass the smell test. You got the corporate press and the mainstream narrative machine. They're manipulating the facts in this. They're saying, oh, well, Trump tried to send in fake electors. Well, no, Trump didn't. Trump can't put together slates of electors. That's not how the electorate works. It just doesn't work that way. It was an alternate slate of electors, right? And they were only to be certified if Trump won his court cases. That's how that works. Ugh, these people just aggravate the piss out of me constantly because they just manipulate everybody, right? They had me thinking at one point that Trump really was trying to subvert democracy. And if you listen to these people, they'll have you believe in that as well. But like I said, once I looked into this and saw exactly how the Electoral College works, I'm like, hang on, Trump has nothing to do with this. That makes no sense whatsoever. He can't put together slates of electors and send it to Congress to be certified. It has to be sent by the governor of that state. And the state election board puts together the electors. Not Trump, not his campaign. So, what do you mean Trump's fake electors? Like, none of this makes any sense. And then the January 6th stuff is just ridiculous outright. Because, once again, he had every right to tell Mike Pence to not certify, because for the simple fact that some of the slates of electors that were sent in by the governors were still being disputed by the state legislatures and the election boards. Yes, as a matter of fact, you can go look up the articles. They're all there. But let's keep going. We ain't got much left here. Trump campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung vehemently denied the legal brief in a rant to Reuters, in which he said the entire case is a partisan, unconstitutional witch hunt that should be dismissed entirely, together with all of the remaining Democrat hoaxes. Yeah, all of them, because there's a bunch. The report also featured evidence suggesting the former president didn't care about January 6 rioters threatening to kill his then Vice President Mike Pence, who refused to participate in Trump's stolen election fantasy. Yeah, now see, I don't know about the stolen election crap. Once again, we covered the shadow campaign, folks, and that pretty much lays out clearly. I'm sure Trump had voter fraud, evidence of voter fraud that the courts didn't want to look at because Trump didn't have standing to bring those cases. So that means they didn't look at the evidence regardless, because the mainstream narrative machine, they keep telling everybody, oh, but they looked at the evidence and decided not to take the case. No, that's not how that works. They didn't have standing. They didn't have the right to bring the case. It's like, in other words, if somebody randomly comes up and punches you in the face, that would be like me suing that person for punching you in the face. Now, hang on. I don't have standing to bring that case. That's what that means. It doesn't mean that they looked at the evidence and saw that there was no evidence. No, of course, if there's evidence at all, they're going to bring the case. It's crazy, 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 especially when it comes to elections. Elections are very important to this country, but I don't buy into the narrative that there was enough fraud to overturn the election. Trump believed it, right? There's nobody that, at least on our side, that would look at Trump, listen to his rhetoric, listen to him at rallies, listen to him talk about the 2020 election, and think that Trump actually thought that he lost. Like, no, he really genuinely thinks there was enough fraud that would have overturned the election. He thinks it was stolen from him. You can tell that when he talks about it, because he talks about it a lot. If it was something that he didn't believe, he would have made his claims and that would have died down quickly. He still talks about it till this day. But this idea that Donald Trump was okay with people talking about, they don't seem to understand idle threats. Because during January 6th, that's all that was. Hang Mike Pence, that was a statement. That wasn't anybody actually wanting to hang Mike Pence. That's a ridiculous notion. As if they would do that right in front of the Capitol. Are you freaking kidding me? Right, like, in talking about that, speaking of that, like, since when in history has there ever been an unarmed coup? Right, like I say unarmed. Some of those people that were there on January 6th were armed. But guess what? They didn't use their weapons at all. That's interesting, because I thought it was a coup attempt. Corporate press. I thought they tried to overthrow the government. Why didn't they use their weapons? They were fighting with cops, for crying out loud. Why didn't they use their guns? Because it wasn't a coup attempt. It was a protest that got out of hand. Which, speaking of that, he told them to be peaceful, which, by the way, if you look at the timelines, those people were breaking down the barricades well before Trump was even done speaking at the rotunda. That's right. They stormed the Capitol before he was even done speaking. So all of those people that were there listening to Trump, they weren't even at the Capitol when all this went down. They might have showed up to the Capitol while it was still going down, but they were at the rotunda. They weren't at the Capitol yet. and you know, the United States government going after peaceful protesters, right? Like, look, I understand all the people that were violent, breaking down barricades, fighting with cops and all that garbage. Yeah, they deserve jail time outright. I am willing to say that. I have no problems with saying that. You get some of these people in front of me that were fighting with cops and doing all this, in my face, I will tell them that was a very stupid idea. You shouldn't have done that. You are ruining Donald Trump's reputation by doing so. You are it's a detriment to the movement, to the MAGA movement, that you did that. Right? Makes you think that maybe that was Antifa, but that's just a conspiracy theory, and I don't actually believe that. I think these were actual people that were just pissed off, and it got out of hand. Right? But all the other people, because we know there was only about 200, almost 200 people that actually had any kind of violence charges they were charged with. Right? So how come there's been over 1,400 arrests, almost 900 convictions at this point? That's insane. That's outright insane. That means that what would that be? 700 political prisoners of this country. 700 people were convicted of peacefully protesting. That's insane. Disrupting an official proceeding. Really. Because of 200 people that were fighting with cops. Those people didn't have nothing to do with disrupting the official proceeding. By the way, that's insane. It's mind-blowing what the Biden administration has done to this country. They're destroying this country. They're dividing us even further. He was supposed to be the uniter-in-chief. He was going to be the president for all Americans, and then comes into office and sharply divides everybody. Starts saying that the ultra MAGA Republicans are blah, blah, blah. They're a threat. They're evil. Like, come on, Biden. You got to do better than that, man. You got to do way better than that. It's insane what Joe Biden has done to this country. He's divided us even further. And, you know, it's to a point where it's hard to see any sort of reconciliation between the two sides. Because it's informed versus ill-informed. Right? People that are being manipulated, that are being lied to, and they buy into those lies because it's coming from an authority figure. It's coming from the corporate press, the mainstream news, and left-wing politicians. It's coming from those places, as if politicians never lie. Take anything a politician says with a grain of salt. That's for damn sure. And then think about what the corporate press tells you. If it kind of doesn't make logical sense when you break it down, there's probably some sort of manipulation in there. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that the corporate press, the mainstream news tell us that kind of doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would they do that? Like, oh, Donald Trump and Project 2025, they want to be dictators. They're doing everything they can to make Donald Trump a dictator. Think about that for a few minutes. Think about that. Trump has disavowed Project 2025 outright. Why would you disavow something you agree with? For public opinion reasons? Yeah, but hang on. How do you know if the public disagrees with Project 2025 or not? Right? Like, some of the stuff they come up with just doesn't make any sense. These people are insane. They keep trying to say, oh, well, Trump's abortion bans. Well, no, Trump hasn't banned any abortion at all, ever. As a matter of fact, he brought it back to the states to give you people, you out there watching, the right to, if you want abortions in your state or not. Like, I don't understand Democrat politicians on this one. I never thought about it before, that it could be a states' rights issue and not a federal rights issue. Right? That should be how the United States work. You have different laws for different states. That's just how it should be, in my opinion. It's crazy. But I need y'all to do me a big, big favor. If y'all could, smash that like button for me. It sure would help me out a whole hell of a lot. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. That sure would help too. And share this video with anybody and everybody, anywhere you can. X, Facebook, Instagram, all those places. Share this video. Get this message out to people, because we need more truth out there, folks. We've got so many lies, so many manipulations. We need to get the truth out there. At least get some truth so people can have something to believe in. But I think that's all I got for this one. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Is this just not just some basic corporate press manipulation coming your way? That's what I think. Of course, that's what I think I've proven outright, but y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.